Welcome back, everyone, to the European LCS, where we just saw another decisive win for Millenium. Guys, let's talk about picks and bans. 3 mid lane bans coming out of Millenium, Yasuo, LeBlanc, and Lulu, and a Kassadin ban from the SUPA HOT CREW. What was kind of the intention of both teams?
So for me, I want to talk about it from Millenium's side, because they'd not really played Kassadin. Even when it was open for them last year, they were a team that constantly banned out Kassadin. Now for me, maybe you'd say you don't want to risk the Kassadin going through, but I'd say that this Ziggs, as Kerp obviously just proved in that game, is a more dangerous champion to let through than Kassadin.
Especially also because Selfie in the mid lane on Twisted Fate clearly showed he didn't know how to lane against the Ziggs here. I mean, the first part he gives up, where he goes in aggressive after already both summoners been forced away. Easy kill for Kerp, just flash ignites him, he's dead. And every time he tried to teleport to gank a lane, he didn't do it safely enough. So Kerp would always just walk up to him, throw down his W, interrupt him, twice in a row actually early game. Like, TF is all about the early ganks from him here, and it didn't work for him because he didn't think about playing against the Ziggs. So Kerp completely outplayed him.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about Kerp in just a second. I kind of want to focus on the early game trends here we've seen after 4 games on patch 4.7. Defisho, is there anything that went against what you expected?
Well, when it comes to early game now, as we've been talking about through the day, it's harder to do late invade. You can't really sneak into the enemy jungle because everyone can get enough vision down so they can spot you out. It obviously means, or it could mean there should be more fights because people just go 5 people in and start a fight or something. But it actually means people are just staying back now, being more defensive. We saw Millenium in this game with the blue trinket at level 1 to spot it. See, was there anyone in the bush here from SUPA HOT CREW? Anyone we could catch out of position? Nope. Go back to the base, sell a blue trinket, buy a normal trinket, and return back to the lane at like 150, 155. So we've seen a few different level 1s, but nothing really stood out.
Yeah. Very interesting all across the board. You were talking obviously about Selfie, and a lot of that is related to pressure or non-pressure that Impaler was able to put on this game. What are general impressions of him? Because Lee Sin doesn't seem to be working.
Well, for me, it was a little bit weird how that whole second kill went down. He was stood on a pink ward for 5 or 6 seconds before he seemed to realize it was actually on top of a pink ward there. Then he killed it, and whilst he was killing it, Evelyn comes in and they killed Selfie, and Impaler didn't really do anything to help him out. It was just a very weird move. I'm not sure whether Impaler was talking at that point and wasn't really focused on actually looking at what was happening in the mid lane, but you can expect that a team, I mean, Selfie is still pretty new to this team as well. I think their synergy is still very much lacking in some parts.
Sadly though, excuses when it comes to synergy won't help you anything. And actually, they played together for what, 1.5 months now or something? They need to have everything sorted by now if they want to have a chance of getting towards playoffs, getting towards the World Championships. Because a team like SUPA HOT CREW, they don't get many chances. I mean, if you lose to Millenium 2 or 3 times during the season, and Millenium, let's say they end up being one of the bottom teams anyhow, we're not sure, they're playing really well now, but then SUPA HOT CREW pretty much lose the chance of going towards the playoff for the World Championship. So they need to win these games. And then to win games, you don't take your jungler and move him in the bottom lane to gank 4 or 5 times when the matchups are support is Thresh for the enemy team, your support is Leona. It is very hard for you pre-level 6 to engage onto Thresh because he can flay you away, so he can stop you from getting towards him to lock down the target. He can do the same thing with Lee Sin. If he queues towards him, he can flay him, stop him in the air. So it's a very hard lane to gank before level 6 on Leona. And yet they kept going down there again and again with Impaler. They got absolutely nothing from it. I think the one time they actually got a kill, it got turned around by Millenium, and they got 2 or 3 kills, took the tower as well. So SUPA HOT CREW's game plan was to gank the bottom lane, but then you need to pick different, or at least you need to adjust to what the other team got.
Yeah, and on Millenium, we actually saw the complete opposite. Not only did they get a lot of jungle pressure down, individually they were all doing very well, especially for me in this game. Kerp, who I dare to say maybe I've never seen Kerp play this strong of a game.
I think he had a lot of freedom.
In the mid lane.
I think he had I think he had a lot of freedom, to be honest. Like the 2 early kills that he got allowed him so much extra time just to chill. We saw him killing off a blue buff with his ultimate. Of course, the Baron at the end, which I think we're going to go into a little bit later on. But he had free roam, and he got himself going a lot faster than he should have been allowed to. And again, it was all about, honestly, how badly SUPA HOT CREW played overall that game around the mid lane.
Yeah, just another example of what you say, like pretty much a free game on Ziggs. We have a replay actually of his quarter kill. If you just pull it up on your guys' screen at home. What we notice here is when you have a big AoE ultimate from Ziggs here, his bomb, and the enemy team decides to group up in the middle of this bomb here, you set up a perfect team fight for him. It's actually SUPA HOT CREW though, who's setting up here a bit of a trap towards Millenium and trying to turn things around and maybe get a fast kill onto to Twitch. But if we roll the clip now, we can see it goes kind of different. Yes, they do manage to kill Kraton, and Gage comes in here. Then notice Kirby here, notice his ultimate. How many members are stuck here in the middle? His ultimate hits 3 members here, everyone drops very low from it. And he's just now in the back line. One guy's dead. Early Outlast, actually even too late of an Outlast coming in from Selfie. And now Kerb with his Guardian Angel. Mimir not going to kill him, Impaler wasn't going to kill him, so he's just getting free time now to just poke away again and again and again. Real Failure is the guy left together with Mr. Wallace, who's still very high in HP, but because Kerb can still do a lot of damage to him, and because Kevin was on full HP, they could win the fight.
Yeah, I mean, he was massively far away ahead of that one as well. In fact, for you guys that have Kerb in your team, I'm a little bit jealous when it comes to fantasy. 43.07 points he got in that game. It's pretty much more than I've got all day.
Yeah, well,
which I'm
says a lot about your team.
I'm playing against you. I'm mostly North American players, so we'll have to wait on that one.
Very good for the guys that have Kerb in their team. Thank you very much, guys. For now, we're going to head back over to Demon and Quickshot for our next game.